Imagine you're standing in a crowded room. People walk past you without noticing. Your opinions don't carry much weight. Your phone rarely rings with exciting opportunities. To most people, you're just another face in the crowd. Now imagine walking into that same room a few years later. You look almost the same. You're wearing similar clothes. You're still the same person. But somehow, people smile more. They ask for your advice. They treat you with respect before you've even said a word. What changed? Surprisingly, it wasn't your personality. It wasn't your appearance. It was an invisible number that most people will never see, but somehow everyone can feel. Your net worth. The truth is, there are 3 invisible wealth levels that quietly change how the world treats you. And each level unlocks a completely different reality. Most people believe becoming rich is about buying expensive cars, luxury watches, or giant houses. But those are only the things people notice on the surface. The real difference begins much earlier, long before anyone sees your bank account. Wealth changes the way you think, the way you make decisions. And eventually, the way other people respond to you. Psychologists have studied this for years. Humans naturally judge others based on signals. We assume successful-looking people are smarter. We trust confident people more. We respect those who seem financially secure. It's not always fair. But it's how our brains work. And that's why crossing certain wealth levels changes far more than just your lifestyle. The first level begins when your net worth reaches around $100,000. For most people, this feels like a huge achievement. It might have taken years of saving, investing, and saying no to unnecessary spending. Finally, you have money sitting in investments instead of just sitting in your wallet. You have an emergency fund. You don't panic every time an unexpected bill arrives. Financially, you've made progress. But socially, almost nothing changes. The world doesn't suddenly congratulate you. Your neighbors don't treat you differently. Your friends probably have no idea you've reached this milestone because real wealth is invisible. People can't see your investment portfolio. They can't see your retirement account. They only see the things you choose to buy. This is where many people make their biggest mistake. Instead of becoming wealthy, they try to look wealthy. They finance expensive cars, wear designer clothes they can't afford, and spend money to create an image. Ironically, the truly wealthy person is often driving an ordinary car while quietly buying more assets every single month. Society has trained us to confuse spending with success. But spending creates attention, while investing creates wealth. The two are completely different. At this level, your greatest advantage isn't that people respect you more. It's that you're beginning to build financial stability while everyone else is busy chasing appearances. As your wealth continues growing, something interesting begins to happen. It's not because you're showing off. It's because your relationship with money starts changing. You stop making decisions out of fear. You stop saying yes to every opportunity simply because you need the paycheck. And that's when you quietly cross into the second level. Around $1 million in net worth, life begins to feel very different. Contrary to what social media tells us, becoming a millionaire doesn't automatically mean private jets and luxury yachts. In many cities, $1 million net worth simply means owning a home, having investments, and saving consistently for years. But psychologically, this level changes everything. Money is no longer solving today's problems. It's buying tomorrow's freedom. People who reach this stage rarely panic over small financial setbacks. Losing a job doesn't immediately destroy their lives because they have assets working for them. They negotiate differently because they know they can walk away. They don't tolerate toxic workplaces as easily because they aren't desperate. And here's Something fascinating about human behavior. Confidence attracts respect. But confidence often comes from security. When you're no longer constantly worried about money, your body language changes. Your voice becomes calmer. Your decisions become clearer. Without realizing it, other people begin treating you differently. Have you ever noticed how successful people are often considered intelligent even outside their field? A billionaire gives advice on health, relationships, education, or productivity, and millions of people listen. Why? Because our brains assume success in one area means competence in every area. Psychologists call this the halo effect. Once people believe you're financially successful, they unconsciously start trusting your opinions more. The exact same ideas that were ignored years ago suddenly sound brilliant. Nothing changed except the way people perceive you. But even this isn't the highest level. There is one final stage where money stops being about comfort and starts becoming something much more powerful. Somewhere between $5 and $10 million in net worth, the rules begin changing again. At this point, wealth is no longer about buying things. It's about buying options. You don't think about the price of a vacation. You think about whether it's worth your time. You don't ask how much something costs. You ask whether it creates more value in the future. This is the point where money becomes leverage. Most people spend their lives exchanging time for money. Wealthy people slowly reverse that equation until money starts producing more money than their daily work ever could. Investments generate income. Businesses generate profits. Assets appreciate while they sleep. Their focus shifts from earning to owning. And ownership changes everything. This is also where networks begin replacing opportunities. Wealthy people often meet other wealthy people because they invest in similar businesses, attend similar events, and solve similar problems. Opportunities that never reach the average person suddenly become normal conversations. Someone offers to start a company together. Someone introduces them to a new investment. Someone else shares an opportunity before the public even knows it exists. Success begins. Attracting more success. Banks also treat wealthy clients differently. Businesses compete for their attention. Investment firms offer exclusive services. Even simple financial decisions become easier because money creates choices. Again, this isn't always fair. But the financial system rewards people who already have capital. The more assets you own, the easier it becomes to grow them. That's one of the biggest reasons wealth inequality continues increasing over time. However, there's one dangerous trap hiding inside every wealth level. Many people think reaching these numbers automatically creates happiness. It doesn't. Money removes financial stress, but it doesn't remove loneliness, insecurity, or purpose. There are wealthy people who feel miserable every single day, and there are ordinary people living meaningful lives with far less. The difference is that money gives you freedom to solve money problems. It doesn't solve human problems. The biggest lesson isn't that you should chase a certain net worth. It's understanding what those numbers actually represent. They represent years of discipline. Thousands of smart financial decisions. Choosing investments over impulse purchases. Delaying gratification while everyone else chased instant pleasure. The invisible number itself isn't magical. The habits required to reach it are. Most people spend their entire lives trying to look successful. They buy symbols of wealth long before building actual wealth. They want respect before earning financial freedom. But the people who quietly become wealthy often do the opposite. They ignore appearances. They focus on assets. They understand that true wealth isn't measured by what others can see. It's measured by what continues growing even when nobody is watching. So the next time you see someone being treated with unusual respect, don't immediately assume it's because they're smarter, luckier, or more talented. Sometimes, the world isn't reacting to who they are today. It's reacting to the invisible financial foundation they spent years building in silence. Because in the end, wealth doesn't just change your bank account. It quietly changes the way the world responds to you, long before anyone ever sees the number.